Hey there, everybody. Hold on just a second. I'm just getting a few things fixed here. I gotta get my chat zoomed in real quick. All right. We should be good to go here. Actually, hold on one more second. All right. I had to close my settings there. Actually, that was probably a really bad idea. Hold on just a minute. I gotta make sure. I don't know if that'll kill the stream or not. Hey there, Emmy. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Juanita. Sorry that it's taking so long here. Yeah, it looks like we're doing okay. I'm not going to worry about it for the moment until I have to sign out, and then it could be somewhat of an issue because I have to sign out now, both on YouTube itself and on my actual app here on the computer. But as you may have been able to tell, which again, I'm kind of screwed over because we're in night mode again. Hold on. This is getting really complicated tonight. But I wanted to try for a moment. To go back to the old setup, and I figured out something with the new, or the old camera, I mean, the iPhone camera that I might have been doing wrong, that might have been overloading the system, so I'm kind of hoping that's going to fix our issues tonight. I don't know what is going on. It will not kick my chat out of dark mode, and it's making it really dark in the room. This is kind of irritating. Alright, let's try something else here. There we go. I think that's going to have to do. Alright. Hey there, Big Steve. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you too, man. Glad you're alright. Hanging in there out there in Cali. Hey there, Barb. Hope I didn't miss anybody. I apologize if I did. But yeah, let me know what you think of the picture tonight. It should look a little bit better than it's looked in a little while here. Hey there, Linda. I don't know if I said hi to you. Sorry if I didn't. Yeah, the iPhone video quality is just far superior to everything else that I have. Well, not obviously for the 539 channel, but I need to get a HDMI adapter for that to work. Otherwise, I would actually hook up one of my other cameras and then use that, because it probably would work just a little bit better than even this does. Yeah, good to hear, Big Steve. Sorry. Yeah, I think we're both in the same situation right now, kind of on lockdown. Hey there, Debbie LaFay. Oh, not much to say about that. Just something kind of temporary. I'm still working on the focus. It'll be back at some point here. Hey there, Laura. Welcome to the live stream. But yeah, good to have you, Debbie. Thanks for joining us tonight. Um, Sorry, now that I switched the screen so that it could be a little bit brighter here, it's unfortunately making me look the wrong direction again. So we have my camera over here. I can actually move it tonight though, since my iPhone is just hooked up to a mic stand right now. So might adjust it later, but I don't know if I'm going to bother right now. I'll just have to glance over and check out the chat every once in a while. Yeah, I actually haven't left since Tuesday, so it hasn't been too long for me. But yeah, it's been kind of a interesting few days. Been getting a lot done. Got a bunch of cleaning done around here. Got a bunch of editing done. Currently working on another episode now. Got episodes coming, like I said, for the next. Let's see. I think the last one will come out next Saturday, and then we'll have to figure out. I might be a few days late on what typically would be the Tuesday episodes, so we'll see how that goes. But at this point, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. A few days late isn't really bad at all. So yeah. I don't really know. I may end up doing, like I said before, something like a top 10 type episode, and that way nobody has to wait, and we'll just kind of go back over some of the past episodes that we've done. Maybe stuff that a lot of you guys haven't seen in a really long time, or maybe some of you haven't seen ever before. So we'll see how that goes. I don't really know. I do have a bunch of old episodes pretty much ready to go at this point, because I was uploading some of the older stuff to Facebook so that it sort of does a rerun over there at some point here over the next few months. So I may be able to do something like that, where I sort of sort through things and then get episodes where, or all the instances where I was actually followed or something like that, or I don't know, some sort of top 10. Hey there, Roy. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you here. I should have set my tablet up, because the way I have it set up now, I can't even look at any of the statistics about the stream at all. All I can see is the chat and then my OBS. But I'll mess with it here in a little bit. I'm just kind of happy to have the OBS back right now. It's kind of nice. We'll see how long it lasts. It doesn't seem to be taking up too much of the processor right now. I'm making sure to monitor it pretty closely here, so we're not doing too terribly at this point. So I think we'll stick with the better video quality. I don't know how well it's actually streaming. I can't remember what quality I had. Has anybody ever stopped to talk with me? Very rarely. Almost never, though. Hey there, Brian. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you. Maybe like a few years ago. So, it's been a while. They always just seem to do weird things, like rev their engines or slowly follow me around places, stuff like that. But have I got any new tattoos or piercings? No, I haven't at the moment. I was planning to this year. I actually was planning to pretty much this month. And then when all this went down, I decided it wasn't really probably the most responsible thing to go out and get a tattoo. So I decided not to. So we're going to wait till this is all over and then go out and do that, among traveling and all that. From Bloomington. Hey, good to have you. Always enjoy Bloomington. Been there a few times. Good to hear. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, happy to have the camera set back up. It was I found out it was, for some reason, it was streaming from my phone to my computer in like a incredibly high bit rate, and I didn't really feel like I needed all that, so I set it way down closer to actually what I'm transmitting over to YouTube, but a little bit higher quality, and then it seemed to work just fine. So I think we're gonna try it out for a little while for the next few streams because it gives me a lot more options. I can share videos, I can share my desktop, I can put photos up on the screen, I can put text up on the screen or links or whatever it might be, and I think I can even put the chat up on the screen. I know YouTube supports that now. I need to figure out how to set that up. I think I might know, but I'm not going to do it live here just so that I don't bore everybody to death. I already know that I didn't get much planning done. I just can't really figure out what is going to work out. Again, with like I said, I don't have everything set up for the music, and I don't have probably a good enough setup for like much else. I don't know. We might, like I said, if I get the option, maybe do some sort of cooking stream or something like that. I thought about maybe sharing some of the cameras or stuff like that at some point. Maybe some of the, I think I've done it in the past, but it might have been long enough that some of you all here might have not ever seen them before. Some of the more older style classic cameras, the old Polaroids and film cameras that I have, or even the cameras that I used to do like 539 filming, stuff like that. I was trying to think what else I thought to do. Oh yeah, I was gonna get a hold of some people too. I still haven't done that yet. I'm trying to, I don't know, give everybody some time here, and then I'll get a hold of some people and see about maybe doing like a joint stream or like doing some sort of FaceTime or Skype connection to talk to them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Debbie. Yeah, I don't want to go out there and take any unnecessary risks just to get, a new piercing or new tattoo, and then you come home and you have to constantly take care of that, and so that's sort of a hit on your immune system anyway, and then you're putting yourself at risk anyway going out there to a public place and having that unnecessary interaction with somebody. So yeah, it sort of is a double negative at this point, so I kind of want to avoid it. Yeah, as much as I really would like to go out there. I mean, I was kind of getting that time that I realized I was how much I was wanting to get out there again and get something done, and I had a few different ideas to get that I thought would be really awesome. Some stuff that would be fairly visible and certainly visible on the episodes. Not that that's why I'm doing it, but just would be kind of interesting that way, just to be out there and in the ether, and it's something that everybody could check out and comment on or whatever. And so I was looking forward to doing it, but yeah. As well as some piercings. Again, I used to have my septum pierced, the center part of your nose there, and I wanted to get that done again. But again, yeah, it just kind of falls in that not right now category. So we'll wait here. I've got other things I'm sure I can more responsibly spend my money on right now, and maybe make content a little bit better here. Maybe get some new equipment or get some new streaming equipment, something like that. I don't really know. We'll figure it out. I've been looking for stuff over the last few days, sort of weighing my options, seeing what looks good, seeing if there's anything that makes obvious sense and isn't going to take too long to ship. A lot of things right now are sort of on the back burner, and they're not shipping it for weeks and weeks. So yeah, I was kind of hoping to sort something out that would be fun for the channels and good for the channels. Maybe, like I said, some equipment, but yeah, not take incredibly long to get here. So we'll see. If I thought of something that I wanted on my face, I'd probably get it. I'm not really against anything in particular. I've seen a lot of facial tattoos that I actually like. And I figure, if it makes the person truly happy, then why not get it? But as for myself, I really don't know. I'd be pretty picky about it. I'm pretty picky about every tattoo that I get, even though some of them aren't quite finished. Even like on my hands, I still have a lot of work that I want to get done to make them look even better than they do right now. But at the same time, it's like it would be a really hard decision for me. Hey there, Cindy. Hey, yeah, good to see you. Yeah, glad you were able to catch the live stream tonight. Appreciate you all being here. Yeah, it's been a kind of a fun night to be able to try the camera setup again, and yeah. Now all I need to do is figure out some of the music stuff so I can really pick up production here on the second channel. But I've got actually a lot of it sitting below here. The effects processors and the cabling to hook up everything to the computer. So everything's actually fairly close to being done. Just the final assemblies of what's going to be kind of interesting. I have an interesting idea, interesting concept for what I'm trying to do here for the first few I don't even know, albums or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's going to be a experimental at best, I guess is what you might call it. But I don't know what exactly genre it's going to fall into. But yeah, I don't know how well it's going to be interesting releasing the musical type stuff. I might have to start first on like another site, like a SoundCloud type site that makes a little bit more sense for like an audio type upload. Otherwise, it'd be like either I'd have to like immediately start filming like some sort of music videos or something like that, or I'd have to like only release like lyric videos or like some sort of graphical videos. I don't really know. No, I get my music from a library of royalty-free music that I'm allowed to use on the videos. So, although it's really awesome music, it is not my own. I have played my own before, actually, on this channel, though. Only a few times. I think I played the ukulele a few times, and I played the guitar a few times. I guess I played a few of my guitars, but not very much. Doing well, Cindy. I hope you are too. Yeah, hanging in there, just staying indoors, staying inside. Haven't left since Tuesday, but even Monday and Tuesday, I was pretty much away from everybody, just driving out in the country and going to random secluded locations, so I really didn't ever encounter anybody. Hey there, Reverend. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining us again. Yeah, I've been staying really safe. Been using a lot of antibacterial lotion and a lot of the sprays and making sure everything's clean and cleaning my shoes and doorknobs and all that. And so it's been quite the undertaking, but I'm making it happen. Well, thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. I try. Hey there, Diane. Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you, too. I should play guitar. Maybe on another one of these streams. I actually couldn't even tell you if it's in tune right now. It's been a while. So I'm sure that everything's out of tune. Both guitars and the ukulele, and the one guitar I need to finally solder. I know I keep saying that I'm going to, but then I keep pushing it off. But I need to resolder my wiring on it so that it works again, and then I can actually pipe that through my effects processor down here on the floor, and then from there I can pipe it into the secondary input that is controlling this microphone right now, and I can actually put electric guitar directly into even a live stream, fully processed. So I do not have any pets, and I am currently single. My favorite metal band, maybe like I tell you, the favorite one I ever photographed was Lacuna Coil. I think, what is it, Swedish symphonic metal. I love that type of metal. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, but that was a fun show to go to and a fun show to photograph. And I actually got to hang out with one of the guitar players while another one of the bands was playing. He just came out and hung out. It was like a sort of like a really large club that had 2 stories, and we were up top looking down on the stage. And he came out and hung out with a few of the radio station members and me, and yeah, and another fun band to photograph too. They have an interesting style. But yeah, I'm not the biggest metal fan, but I do enjoy it. I don't dislike it. I just I guess I would say I'm probably more into other types of rock, but I do enjoy listening to metal every once in a while. You thought I was married? No, I am certainly not married. I am completely free at this point. Hey there, Kenneth. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, I think at this point in my life, as much as I travel and so randomly travel, I'd probably be kind of annoying to be in a relationship with, unless it was somebody that like could constantly travel with me. Like, so it kind of narrows down the field a little bit there. So you never know, though. I guess I could eventually meet somebody, but I'm not really worried about it too much. I'm sort of focused on building this whole social media business and the 539 traveling and all of that, so I'm not really too worried about it at this point. You know, if something happens, it happens. If not, then it doesn't. So, but yeah, I'd probably be. It would have to be very. I don't know what the word would be. Anti-traditional or something. I don't know. I don't know how I could do a normal relationship. Baking bread. Wow, that sounds like fun. Actually, I've been wanting to try it at some point. Yeah, I've never done it before, so I'd love to try it at some point too. You have to let me know I know how it goes here. I don't know what kind of bread I would like to make though. Probably some sort of one of those like French style. I wanted to make one of those ones that you like knotted or braided or whatever, and then it comes out like that. I thought that'd be kind of interesting. Very true, Gary. Very true. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I apologize that there isn't more of a plan tonight, but again, I did want to test out the camera setup as well as come and hang out at least. Plan or no plan, I thought at least I owed it to everybody to come and hang out after I promised more streams were coming and more often. So I didn't want to lie about that and not come on for days and days at a time, even though I did push off the stream a little bit just because I didn't want to stream on the exact same day that I was releasing the 539 video after I had done the same thing previously. Hey there, Sue. Good to have you. Hope you're doing well down there in Australia. Thanks for joining us tonight. You did that last week. Awesome. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I would like to get better at, I'd like to have any experience whatsoever at doing something like that. But maybe it'll be one of the many things that I try here while we're stuck inside. Yeah, I thought about getting a bread maker at one point, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go the traditional route and try like an oven or something. You know, I would love to. I wanted to invest in like an outdoor like brick oven type, not brick oven, but like something that mimics it. But I was looking at it and it was like they're really expensive. There's a really nice one that I saw on Binging with Babish, and it was like I think over no, it was like $600. That's right. But it was really cool. It was like a pizza oven, and I think you can use it indoors, but it uses like propane or something. That's good to hear, Sue. Yeah, I think bread's one of those things you don't really want to do it perfectly. I mean, in some ways you do, but like when it comes to the cooking part of it, I feel like the old-fashioned type, you know, oven, brick oven, things like that, just always makes bread products a little bit better. That's my opinion anyway. Hard to find flour and yeast. Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, what I would check, honestly, if I were you, if you have any Amish communities around, they often sell stuff straight out of their house, like eggs and pies, and they actually might sell yeast or like a what do they call it? There's a thing you can get that's where you can grow your own yeast, and a lot of them have it. So, could be a place to check. And it'd probably be one of the safer areas since they're, for the most part, pretty cut off from the rest of society. I love sourdough, actually. I'd love to try and bake that sometime. Well, congratulations on the new job, Diane. That's happy. Yeah, take your time on the episodes, but I appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoy. Well, thank you. Yeah, been doing a lot of the still photography recently, and going over some of my past photos, some of my better photos, my portfolio photos, if you will. It's been nice to be able to post some of the new stuff along with the old stuff to sort of spread it out a little bit during this break, because it's obviously a little bit harder to get out to certain places. Some of the parks are even closed. I don't know what all's closed right now. I haven't really looked since all of this, but at some point, if I think I can go out to someplace completely alone, I know they don't discourage that, so I might be able to go out to like a park or something and do like some Instagram photos or something. I don't really know. again. Like I said, it may be closed when I get there, so who knows. Oh yeah. A long time ago, I did do some cooking stuff on the channel, so that was a lot of fun. I would love to do that again. I might have to do it again here soon. There's a lot of different stuff that we could use. Different cookers and smokers and things like that. Yeah, I guess if you knew how to make bread, it would be pretty simple and uh, efficient food to make. Obviously you get a lot. Obviously, it's mostly air, but I mean, it fills you up or whatever. Thanks for joining us, Gary. You have a good night. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. I do try hard. Photography is really one of my first loves. I have a lot of cameras. I haven't used too many film images, unfortunately, on my Instagram. Although I'm going to really try to do that. But that was another thing. I was pretty much planning to do that. I had Polaroid film picked out, and I had film picked out for my 35 millimeter cameras, and then all this happened, and I couldn't really go out, so it was worthless to get any of it. So I've never done tintypes or glass, but I've done like medium format. Like I have a 120 film camera, and I used to have a Rolleiflex. And I've made a pinhole camera before that worked with just enlargement sheets. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, I've never done glass. I would love to do the large format. That would be fun. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to switching. Not really switching, but utilizing a lot more film, a lot more black and white. I might do some medium format. I've kind of, until I get like a dark room built though, I might seek out some sort of development service, so it might take me a while in between post on something like that, because the medium format is kind of a pain. It's a pain. Any type of film is kind of a pain without a dark room, and medium format, you can't just take it over to like your local drugstore and drop it off and have it done in an hour. They don't process that type of film. So, even though I have the ability to process my own film, it's the real pain is trying to get it out of the camera and into the canisters. I have light proof film canisters that I can develop using chemicals in, and it's still hard. Pasta would be a fun one to make too. Hey there, Jonathan. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I would love to do that. Actually, I want to make pierogies. That's what I've been wanting to make. Yeah, I loved my pinhole camera. I took a lot of fun photos with it. I would love to get a brownie. That'd be cool. I wanted to get a Diana the other night too, but that was going to take forever too. I was going to get a Diana with a 35 millimeter backing, so that would have been cool. I had modified my Holga once to take 35 millimeter, but for whatever reason, the focus wasn't too great on it. Yeah, I always loved taking photos since I was young. Um, I've taken a lot of Polaroid images, and I haven't done it in a lot of years now, but I'm hoping to get started here again soon. It's rather expensive. I found it was for 8 photos. It was $20, but I mean it's worth it, and I know how to do a few things with the old Polaroids. So I can modify the Polaroids and do different things with them to make them look kind of cool. So I think it'll be kind of interesting. And then I'll probably try some different experiments and stuff like that, and different things with the film. But yeah, I was really kind of hoping that I could get the 35 millimeter film working with my Holga, because it's kind of cool. Because if you're familiar with 35 millimeter film, it has the holes in the top and the bottom so that the film can be advanced and then retracted back into the canister when you go to develop it. And when you image it with a regular 35 millimeter, your image appears in between those two tracks. And when you image it with a 120 format camera, the film is much bigger typically if you are actually using the 120 film. So when you image the 35 millimeter, what it does is it images the entire piece of film, including the track. So the image then has like these really cool structured patterned holes in it, as you can actually scan in the track if you want to, and so it looks really awesome. In my opinion, anyway. Some people cut that out, but then some people actually scan that in with it. So I actually thought about getting a kit. There was a TLR kit that I wanted to get too, which TLR is a twin lens reflex. Most people that you see on YouTube with the big cameras with the lenses, those are SLRs, which means single lens reflex. And then if you ever see the old-fashioned film cameras where people are looking down into them and they have the two little lenses coming out, that's a TLR. And they had a kit that's available where you can actually build your own TLR from scratch. They give you all the parts and the springs and the gearing and everything, so that it gets the right focus and the right speed of, I guess, exposure speed. I don't know how complicated it really is. Thanks for joining us, Cindy. You have a good night. Yeah, hopefully we'll be doing one probably tomorrow. I do have some editing to finish up here, but I did pause the editing to come on and hang out with everybody. So I'm going to go back to that after this. I'm probably about a third of the way through sort of mastering the audio on the episode for Tuesday. And then I'm going to add the music and offload it, and then upload it to YouTube. So yeah, about done with that, and then I'll be working from there on Saturday's episode, which is going to be our very next Ghost Town episode. So that should be a lot of fun. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys on Saturday. Should be Saturday morning this time. I had a bit of a hiccup on the last video getting it out on time. I was trying to do the research. I know in the video I talked about doing some research, and I did some research and found out a little bit about the cemetery that I had visited. Actually, technically, it was a graveyard because it was right next to a church. And I had done some research on it, and for whatever reason, my editor was messing up my text. It would smash all my text together, so I couldn't figure out why I was doing that. I might have to reset my program or reinstall it or something. I don't really know at this point, but I don't really know what I'm going to have to do to fix it, but it ruined all of the information that I was trying to put up on the screen about the location, so I just left it out, and I figured if somebody really wanted to take the effort and look it up, then they can do it. I probably should have put it in the description, but oh well. Yeah, the Rolleiflexes are really nice. They take amazing pictures. It's like you get a Holga just because it takes that sort of nasty, half faded. It's out of focus in some places, has lots of light leaks, and it's very, uh, it's like artistic bad. It looks. It's not how you'd want to take a professional photo, but it's really great for art. But like the Rolleiflex can go kind of either way. They're really professional. They take amazing photos. They're great at like high key, very adjustable, and yeah. But at the same time, they're really great for like studio work. So you could take anything from like a modeling shoot to like straight up just artwork. Oh yeah, the capacitor out of the flash. You can actually cause it to go off just by hitting it. I used to do that. If you smack it hard enough on your palm, it'll just flash. But yeah, there's a capacitor in there, and it charges up. And then when you hit your button and take your exposure, it releases the flash as well as the shutter. But yeah, those things are usually terrible anyway. They usually overexpose photos. When I used to do wedding photography and stuff, a lot of times I would actually aim my flash upward because it would flash off the ceiling and then naturally diffuse itself and have this really nice lighting instead of having that harsh bluish flashlight. I mean, there's other ways to do it too in different situations, but that's what I used to do, and it worked out really well. Unless there was really tall ceilings, and then it was terrible. But either way, I don't really care because I really hated doing wedding photography. It was one of the worst types of photography to do, just because it's hard to get that many people to cooperate with you at one time, and then you're out constantly squeezing between tons and tons of different people, whether they're dancing or getting to their seats or whatever they're doing or eating, or there's a lot going on and a lot that you have to capture, and every moment's important to them, and it really ends up being a lot of hassle, and that's probably why wedding photography is so expensive. I know I charged a lot, and I was still probably one of the cheaper people, and it was well worth it though because I did a lot of work. So it was like I'm gonna at least make my money's worth on dealing with all this. But I mean, you can pay. There's people that charge like $10,000 just for a single wedding. But usually that's film, and I would never ever ever do a wedding in film. As much as it would be really cool, it would be really hard and then really risky. Yeah, I suppose an electric shock like that would probably wake you up real quick. So, probably not the best way to get energy, though. Hold on, I gotta grab my drink real quick. Give me one moment. Kind of debating whether I should just change the scene for this one little thing or I should just run off screen. But I think I'm just gonna run off screen. Hold on just a minute. Am I gonna be selling my photos? I do. I'm trying to think which site most of them are on. I think most of them are on Teespring. Now I gotta remember my Teespring. I'm on Teespring at 539 Productions. I'm sure it can be searchable. I don't remember the exact link. I think it's Spreadshirt is shop.spreadshirt.com/539productions. And then I think Teespring is teespring.com/shop/539productions. I believe. I'll have to look it up, but like my phone's like right up here, so I can't do that right now. But yeah, I am going to be selling more and more. I haven't updated it in a little while, but I have a lot of my prints available that have been on Instagram. So I sell them in a variety of ways. I have phone cases. I have actual prints that you can get. I have a few that are in canvas prints. This is Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, actually. So yeah, a lot of stuff is just in regular prints, and then stuff if you want to get like a phone case or whatever. And then I have a few clothing items. I think I have some hoodies and things like that. So, but all those links, any 539 video has those links in the description, and I might try and put those up in a little bit on the screen here, but I don't have them prepared at the moment. I only have my Instagram and Patreon on the desktop there. What is my favorite thing to photograph? I don't really know. I've photographed almost absolutely everything, from just doing like nature photography to doing portraits, weddings. Probably the rock bands, I would say, were probably my favorite overall, just because I got to meet a lot of my favorite rock stars, and then I got to photograph them. And I got to go backstage and front stage. You know, people are always talking about the backstage pass, but every time I was at a concert, I had an all-access pass, which meant I got to go anywhere, like at any time. I didn't have to have anybody with me, any security. I just got to go, and yeah, so that was kind of fun. So probably that. I did that for a couple of years, and then it started to interfere with the rest of my life, so I had to let it go for the moment. Iced tea. I love iced tea. Not my favorite, but it's a fun one every once in a while. We do green tea from time to time, things like that. I don't know, a little bit of everything, just like the rest of my life. But other than the rock bands, I would say, I don't really know. It'd probably just be a format. I love film. I love, like I said, my cameras that are a little bit different. My Holga, my medium format camera, my Polaroids, things like that. Sort of the old school stuff that doesn't get used as much anymore, even though it's kind of popular on Instagram now, which is kind of funny because I've had it for so long. You know, I've had my old-fashioned SX70 button Polaroid for like 20 years, and I've had my Holga now for I've had my Polaroid for longer than that, and then I've had my Holga for like 15, something like that, and it's now starting to be kind of popular on Instagram, so it's kind of funny. I guess I'm prepared for that phase now. Thank you, Juanita. Yeah, that was a cool one. I would have loved to have photographed that in film. I do have a film camera ready to go. I have film sitting there. But yeah, I'm waiting for all this to be over. But I was kind of getting the itch the other day to go out and use them. And then I went to order more film online. And then I kind of got discouraged because I realized I wasn't really going to get the time to do any of it. Night, Jonathan. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, I guess I'll get time whenever this is over. Like I said, it'll give me time to save up a bit for something a little bit bigger. Maybe I'll be able to go a long distance. And if all of this is over by the time it gets warm, then maybe we'll head up north. Maybe we'll do that Alaska trip or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if the car would survive it. It'd be kind of interesting though to get stranded in the middle of Canada or something. That would make some great video. I really should have filmed when I was coming. That would have made an amazing series was coming back from California. Had I filmed that, that would have been really incredible. I'm having like 8-inch icicles hanging off my car because I was in an ice storm on the highway and going through Wyoming and Nebraska and crazy highways and snowy highways right on the side of a cliff. It was quite the interesting experience, and all that coming out of the desert. So coming from like being in the 80s to like literally going through a blizzard. Like part of the highway got shut down and everything. So I should have filmed that. I really should have filmed that in retrospect, but I don't remember what the status of my GoPro was at that moment. But yeah, things that I'll do next time. But that's what I was kind of saying last time when I went to California, that I was just going to sort of take that first trip slightly to myself. I was going to, like screwing my hair up, but I wanted to sort of experience it for myself without a lot of cameras, but then do a decent amount of episodes while I was out there. And then like the second time I went out, since I'd already done it before, I'd be able to film a lot more of my experience, which is kind of a backwards way to do it, because it probably would have been better to film my very first experience out there, but who knows. But there's a lot more first experiences that can be filmed here in the future. There's a lot of places that I haven't been before, a lot of really interesting places that we're going to be going here shortly. So, well, maybe not shortly. We'll see how that works out, but hopefully at some point soon we'll be going to some of these cool places. I'm just kind of hoping at this point that I can't, or that I don't end up running out of footage completely. I mean, I guess it's better to be safe, but I mean, I'd like to continue having episodes come out and not take like a month or two break. Oh wow, that's very kind of you, Juanita. 35 millimeter. Yeah, I love Canon. Actually, I have a couple of them myself that I filmed for 539 with, and yeah. But yeah, we'll have to maybe talk about it off of here or something. I don't know. Maybe send me an email and we'll talk about it. But I hate to steal your stuff though. So, but if you're still wanting to discuss it, just shoot me up or shoot me an email or whatever. But again, I appreciate the generosity. But yeah, I'd like to do some fun stuff. I would love to eventually try and do like a film, like an actual film video, like 8mm. They make obviously 35mm film cameras as well, since everybody's familiar with theater for the last 100 or so years. So I mean, I'm sure I could do something like that, but 8mm would be a little bit more doable. But I think that'd be kind of fun. I would love to go to New England. Yeah, Maine and Connecticut would be fun. I've thought about going to Maine a few times. I've been really wanting to get up there. Yeah, seems like an interesting place. Pretty wild place. So I would like to get up there and do some exploring. I think you'd find a lot of cool stuff up there. Well, I appreciate that, Juanita. Yeah, shoot me an email over at the 539 Productions email. It's just 539productions@gmail.com. And maybe we can discuss something. Hey there, Hot Topics. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you. Yeah, I'm surprised this stream is actually still working as well as it is. Let me see if I can put it in the chat here. There you go. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining me here tonight. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying indoors, being safe. Maybe being productive if you can. Yeah, I've always wanted to try Super 8. I actually almost got my hands on a Super 8 camera at one point, but unfortunately that ended up falling through. But one of these days, maybe I'll buy one or something. But yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I don't know what kind I'd really get. I don't really know much about them. But I would probably opt for getting something cheap just because anymore it's like it's come so long since we've used a lot of film in some ways. Obviously, in some ways, film is very important still to a lot of industries out there, like your modeling industries, things like that, fashion. Film is still really important, but like, for like artists and like your average person, film sort of. Well, I shouldn't say artist, but like for the average person, film's sort of fallen out of fashion, and so a lot of people, like artists, are switching over to film for their flaws. Like some of the more cheaper cameras actually make a more interesting image often, and it's fun to use for artwork. So. But yeah, so I'd probably opt for maybe something hand cranked. I don't know. That's good, Sue. Yeah, I know a lot of people are starting to work from home too, if that's possible, and yeah, who knows? But that's good. That's good. You got to be safe. The guitar, I don't know. I would love to take a look though, for sure. Maybe if you can send me a photo or something and some info or whatever, we can certainly talk about it. But yeah, again, I appreciate it for sure though. That's awesome. That's an interesting thought too. Yeah, I'll have to check around, see if anybody has any of the old 8mm. That'd be an interesting, probably be an interesting trip. Probably not for the 539 channel, but it'd be something I could probably film for the second channel. Searching for the 8mm. Awesome. Thank you very much, Juanita. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll make sure to check for the message. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I don't know what all I'd use it for. I did find a scanner for it the other day though, so it'd be really easy for me to get it imported and then edit it, so I could actually fully or throw it through like Adobe Premiere, anything, sort of do like a professional editing job on it and put titles on it. And the interesting thing would be the audio, obviously. It'd be probably nearly impossible to do like a sort of like I do on the 539 episodes where I film myself and talk. It'd be sort of impossible for like a scenario like that, but it'd be kind of fun for like little artistic videos or stuff, like for like Instagram or something, like little short videos where I could just take a few short seconds of video of something cool and then upload that. So I don't know. Maybe it'll finally tempt me to get the TikTok app, even though I've sort of avoided that. I didn't really want to be. I don't know. I've heard bad things about the app and that they're just stealing stealing information or stealing data or mining data, I guess. Not really stealing it, but mining people's data for whatever reason. I don't really know. So I've been sort of trying to avoid that app. But I don't mind the short format type things, so I think that'd be kind of interesting use of it to do straight up film. See, now somebody's going to do it, because I swear every time I come up with an idea, I feel like 2 weeks later I'll see it on somebody else's channel. Or sometimes when I do stuff, I've seen some people I haven't talked to. Well, I'm not going to spread gossip, but anyway. I see some fans out there. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. Again, hopefully next time we have a little bit more of a plan. Just wanted to check in. I have been thinking about it again. I really haven't come up with a whole lot other than some of the ideas that I already had and that we're sort of just waiting for that to happen, I guess, I'm going to have to get confirmation from some people if they even want to be involved. Obviously, anybody that I've worked with in the past would be a lot of fun to get on a stream. But I know some people out there are busy, and some people may not want to do it. I don't really know. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I'm not really sure even what format I'm going to do it in. I'm probably going to have to do it on here somewhere. But hopefully that doesn't cause any additional tech issues or anything like that. Yeah, I really want to do something. Do like a little short form interview or discussion or whatever with some of the people, like I said, I've worked with in the past. We got, Xavier and Ryan and Steve and obviously Rob and Joe and what am I missing here? Oh yeah, good luck with the bread. Let me know how it turns out. But yeah, I've worked with a lot of great people. And on the Holy Walkers too. But yeah, I don't know who all would want to even come on. So we'll see what happens though. I'm going to try and arrange something. And then if I'm able to do any sort of outdoor stream where I'm like, if I can walk somewhere or hike somewhere or do something like that, I might do that. We'll see on that too. Yeah, I'm sure that a lot of those people are getting bored as well. So we'll see. But I don't know. I'll let you guys all know. I did forget to do, well, I didn't forget. I had the camera already hooked up and ready to go. And then I realized that was going to really hinder my Instagram update. So I just opted to go live anyway and just take a chance at it. So unfortunately, tonight was kind of bad, but I am trying to be a little bit better about updating on Instagram. So I'll keep everybody updated over there. And then sometimes if I update through a photo, it will automatically go to Facebook and Twitter as well. But if I update on my story, it only goes, I think it goes through to Facebook. It says it goes through, but I'm not sure if it's adding to my personal story, which no one sees really, or if it's adding itself to my 539 story. So I'll have to check and see. I've never really verified because, yeah, I don't really know much about Facebook stories. Facebook's one of my least used platforms. I need to use it probably a little bit more and get a little bit more used to it. There's a lot of stuff that's changing on it. I probably need to switch over and do some stuff over there. So we'll see. But anyway, that's sort of besides the point. I have been trying to get better at updating everybody though. But uh, yeah, the tough thing is that I don't use as much social media as I used to, and so a lot of the platforms that people want to be updated on, I don't really even use much anymore. Like Twitter, like I really don't use it for personal reasons anymore. I just I don't know. I want to get a different account at some point anyway, and rename it at some point. And so I haven't really been putting much effort into it. So having to still update everybody on there is not really a pain. I wouldn't really put it that way, but I have to remember to do it, and I have to remember to copy it over from like Instagram or something like that. So I just got to get in the better habit of it. But yeah, if you have Instagram, make sure you check that out. It's 539 Productions as well, and I'll be again updating at least via my story when I go live for most of the time, obviously. But obviously, there's going to be a few exceptions here and there, just like tonight. And if I already have everything set up and ready to go and I can't touch it, then whatever. But yeah. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you're following over there. If not, like I said, at the very least, I put a lot of really cool still photos and occasionally some small short format videos over there too. So yeah. Hold on here, just one moment. I'm gonna look at my stats here real quick and try and pull the stream configuration back up. Okay, I think I figured it out now. There we go, finally. That was super complicated. Oh, and then it stole my chat back. This is irritating. There we go. No. It's going to be dark for just a minute here. What in the world is going on? Alright, sorry everybody. I apologize. We're just making you stare at the side of my head here. Alright. We're good to go now. Whoa. Now I have two chats up. What in the world? Okay. I'm going to go with the new chat. And then I just need to zoom back in and we're done. Okay. We're back. Oh, that's very cool, Jerry. That sounds like a lot of fun. Um, yeah, I love Chicago too. I always love going up there and walking around. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to get everything lined up a lot of times. I need really a couple different devices. I do have another computer kind of set up and ready to go. It could work for some things. I don't really know exactly what all I can use it for, but I probably could use it to actually set up this stream, but then I'd have to sit down because it's actually way, whoa, down, yeah, down this way. But it's my little travel computer. I don't think I've actually showed you guys since I don't know if I showed it to you since I built it or not. But I actually finally got done with the travel computer. I never filmed it. I meant to film it, but I really wanted to go live and just do it live where I completely build it from scratch live, but I could not get the setup to work correctly, the camera setup, so it unfortunately didn't work out well. Oh, hold on just a second. Sorry. I had it set up and it was only showing me part of the text or part of the messages, so hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. But anyway, it looks like we've been on, wow, an hour and 13 minutes now. What time is it? I didn't even realize I went on so late. No matter what I try to do, it seems like I can only do late night streams. Maybe we'll do one early tomorrow. I'll have to finish editing the rest of the next episode. New episode should be out probably 11 a.m. on Tuesday. I said that last time, and then I ended up not getting it out till like 6, but that was because of the technical difficulties and trying to do the research on the last location. And then once I guess that was Saturdays, but I think last Tuesdays was late too. I don't even know. It's been kind of crazy recently, so that's kind of the issue I'm dealing with. So, yeah, just bear with me while we're going through all this. Things could from time to time be delayed a little bit. I really don't know. Like I said, I'm not really certain, but what the following Tuesday is going to bring, or if it's going to be business as usual. If I'm allowed to go out and visit out of the way places that are secluded and film them, then that'd be awesome. Some of the places, like obviously like the bigger, very large cemeteries with like the mausoleums would probably be off limits, I'm assuming. They're probably all closed up at this point. At least the ones with gates. I'm not sure. I don't know. Probably not. I don't really know. I guess that'd be an essential business. Yeah, I imagine the late nights, probably match up pretty well with Australia, having that big time difference. So, yeah, that's at least one benefit of it. I get to hit another area of the world that doesn't usually get to see the American live streams. I guess it just depends on who's live streaming. Some people do the late night streams too. Oh, yeah, I actually know Yashica. I was going to buy a Yashica at some point, I think. I remember trying to get a hold of one at some point. I don't even remember why. But I remember specifically it being a Yashica. That's interesting. 1:40 p.m. Wow, that's kind of crazy. That's very strange to think about. Because, it's kind of dark outside right now. I think it's the middle of the afternoon down where you are. That's pretty cool. Awesome. Thank you, Juanita. I'll check that out. Yeah. If I had the use of my phone right now, I'd look at them. But I don't want to take the time to run over and boot up my tablet. I'll just hang out for a while with everybody, and then I'll check it out here once I get off and get with you. But yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's very generous. Yeah, I don't know how long we're gonna actually make this stream anyway, because again, just sort of testing out the new equipment. Didn't really have a plan. Just wanted to come on, hang out for a little bit, say hi. I'll let you know that everything's still going well. Checking in with all of you guys. And yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I don't have a plan right now, but yeah, I'm gonna keep trying. If I can get what I might try to do, if I can get the editing done tonight, which is pretty likely, I'm pretty far along in the editing. If I can get the editing done tonight, what I might try to do is like at least resolder my electric tomorrow, and then I might have to change a string or two, which I think I have. I think I showed you guys. Oh yeah, I've showed you guys my electric here on this channel before. I actually have a regular video here that's saved. Well, all the live streams are saved too, so that's kind of nonsense to say. But I have a regular video on here where I played the guitar. But I was gonna say I could grab it, but it's kind of fragile right now. Yeah, I'm sure it went through. But yeah, I'll check and let you know. If I haven't seen it by the next time that I see it here on the stream, I'll be sure to let you know. That way you can always resend it or whatever. So, but again, many thanks. I really appreciate all that. Trying to think, maybe we should just end it up here, and then I'll finish the episode and go ahead and get something prepared for maybe next time. I don't really know. I feel like I'm being a little bit boring or something right now. Like, I love coming on and hanging out and everything, but I do like to make the live streams as much if things are interesting enough or people want to watch it. So I love hanging out, though. I love talking about the channels. I love talking about the videos, about the travels, answering any questions, and doing that. I just want to make sure that everybody's interested. Night, Shauna. You have a good one. Appreciate you being here. Good night, Juanita. Yeah, I'll let you know on that. I'll get back with you here, and yeah, we'll talk about the that stuff. But yeah, again, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And you have a great night. Thank you, Diane. Yeah, I'm willing to stay on a little bit longer here. Unfortunately, I need to... I should have set up the stream a little bit better. I was kind of more excited to check out the camera, and then I forgot that I've been backing a lot of stuff up and moving a lot of stuff around so that I can eventually restore the computer again. And I moved around all my music, so now when I go to break and change to the other scene, the music file is broken. And so to make that work so that it's not completely boring for everybody, I actually have to go off screen again and reconfigure some things. So I'm trying to, I guess, put that off as much as possible at this point. I'm going to have to do it here at any... Sorry, I'm going to have to do it here anyway because I actually just ran out of something to drink. Actually, I have a water over here. Never mind. We're good for a little bit. Yeah, so update-wise, I think we're pretty much up to date. I mean, not really going out, not really doing anything, sort of hanging around, trying to do my best to just do nothing at all until we get to that point where we're allowed to be out and about again, and hopefully it's a little bit safer. And then even at that point, I'm just going to head out and do those secluded locations, try and stay out of hotels for as long as possible, and just make do with what I can get accomplished within a distance that I'm able to travel back later that night and stay home. So That's sort of where we're at this point. A record player. I would love to get a record player actually someday. They have really good quality. Night, Sue. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you here soon. But yeah, I would love to do that. But unfortunately, I can't play records on a stream because that would still be copyright claimed. But if for some reason I could record music onto it, which would be a lot more expensive, but I could then play my own music back on vinyl through the live stream, which would be kind of fun. But again, that would be really expensive for some payoff. But whether or not I could do good enough a job of mastering a vinyl, I don't know. But I would love to give it a try sometime. But yeah, I actually saw not too long ago a USB vinyl that would route the video directly into your computer as an audio device. So there's a lot of fun ones out there. And then you can also digitize your records so you have a copy of them, which obviously you can only use for your own personal use, but at the same time it is a digital copy in case something were to ever happen. I believe that's well within the legal limitations. I think you're allowed to make a digital copy of your own CD or vinyl records. I would believe that would fall within a listening license. But don't take my word for it. Again, I am not a lawyer. I do have a lawyer friend that was wanting to do a live stream with me. That'd be kind of an interesting one. He lives in Indianapolis and practices law down there. And he was wanting to do some sort of podcast about different legal issues and the way that they affect the community. And so I might be doing some streams with him here. I don't know, during this whole period here, I've not been able to travel if that's going to happen. But I could potentially do like another FaceTime, or I don't know if he has an iPhone, but Skype or something. That could be questionable too, though. Who knows? We'll see. But I think that'd be kind of an interesting guest to have on, would be a lawyer. So, and it's not often that you, at least in my life, I don't know too many lawyers. And it just happens that one of my friends just, not too recently, but fairly recently, became a licensed lawyer. Hey there, Savannah. Welcome to the live stream. He is currently practicing criminal defense, I believe. But I know he was interested in practicing in other areas too. But yeah, I just saw him recently when I was down in Indianapolis filming. And he had mentioned that he was trying to start the podcast. And so I had said that I would help him out and help him set it up, and maybe feature him in a stream or two on my own channels, and maybe get him started. And I think it's kind of an interesting subject. There's a lot of cool lawyer channels on YouTube that talk about different topics, from civil rights to any aspect of law. That's what lawyering is. So, but yeah. So I really don't know what kind of setup we do, what kind of podcast we do together. Obviously, his podcast would be his own podcast, but I mean, just our own live stream. I don't really know what format we do. Probably just maybe take some questions and from the audience and see if maybe he can answer it. I mean, obviously, we can't technically give full-on legal advice. That wouldn't be allowed really, but for entertainment purposes we could talk about legal questions, I believe, and I think he'd be in on that. Yeah, some of the lawyer videos are fun to watch, because of course they know everything about the law and where they're allowed to be and what they're allowed to be doing, and so a lot of times they set some people in their place when they think that they're maybe properly enforcing the law, but they're maybe not necessarily as accurate on the law as they thought they were. So, I mean, if it's something you're interested in, definitely look it up. I think it'd be one of those things that's kind of on the line. Either you're gonna be really annoyed at it and they're gonna kind of piss you off, or you're really gonna enjoy what they do. And I get it. I get kind of a kick out of it. I think it's fun. And obviously, it's always important to know your own legal rights in different situations, whether, not necessarily if you're just having legal issues, but, if you're in a public place and you're, doing whatever, just to know what your rights are, just being there is important. And it can help when you do and when you don't have to comply with certain orders, It's just sort of like the idea that in the United States, you don't have to give an ID if you're not driving an automobile, because technically, as in the United States, we don't have a national ID system, and we only carry driver's license. So if you're actually standing on the sidewalk, then legally you don't have to give a driver's license. Again, I can't give that as advice to anybody, but that is, in my unprofessional opinion, my understanding of the way the law works. But yeah. So if and when that ends up happening, which I guess he has a channel set up and ready to go, it hasn't gotten any videos on it, and I don't know the link to it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the name of it. But I do know that he is interested in getting that started, and so if and when that happens, I will let you guys know, and we'll do a fun little stream with that. So we'll do the 539 legal stream, or I guess the mystery legal stream. So, yeah, be looking out for that, but it will probably be months and months and months away, because I was going to be back in the Indianapolis area already. I would have already been there and back by now, but because of all this, I immediately put everything on hold. So I literally was like, I was planning to go literally that night and like book a room, and then it just all fell apart at once. So yeah, but I'll keep everybody updated, like I said, on the different social media that I do use a lot. When I'm going to be back out on the road and traveling like normal. But again, until that time, I'm just going to, like I said, the little country graveyards and out of the way places like that seem to be fairly popular on the channel, so I'm just going to keep doing stuff like that when I get the chance. I'm going to add in a few extra stuff, like I said, with the ghost town that I'm going to be exploring here coming up, I believe next Saturday. I am going to still try to mix things up a little bit and not always do the graveyards, but at the same time, I know how popular that they are, so we're just going to continue on with that series, since I do have a decent amount of them marked in the area, and hopefully everybody will enjoy watching that until the time where we can maybe break out of the state again and get somewhere kind of interesting in the sense that it's way different from what we're normally used to seeing here. Maybe something back out in the desert, maybe something way up north. Like I said, I wouldn't even mind doing like an Alaska trip if I had it well planned out, but that sounds like it might be pretty expensive, and I would have to get my passport and all that. So we'll see on what that brings about and what kind of budget I have. So yeah, but I'm sure I'll be ready once all this is over to get back out there on the road and do something a little bit longer. Or maybe at the very least we'll do the loop around Lake Michigan, see how well that goes on the channel. Obviously I could do some old historic graveyards along the way there too if everybody wants to watch that. So it's not like I can't. I'm sure I can find plenty of old stuff up there. Maybe even some old. I've been trying to find. There was a lot of French military stuff in the area back in the day, and I wanted to find like an old, early 1800s French military. I don't know if they would have built it or if they would have taken everything back with them, but I wanted to find if there was like I'm sure I could find the forts pretty easily, obviously, but maybe like one of the graveyards too if they have one. Like I said, I don't really know how that worked back then. I'm sure it probably would have had to happen locally. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a different area of a ghost town that we've seen before a few different times. I think I've visited it now 3 times on the channel, and this will be the 4th. But this is, again, completely different area, completely new discoveries, things that I don't think's ever been seen on YouTube before. Pretty cool place. I thought it was pretty interesting, you know. And yeah, again, that's coming out Saturday. So Saturday probably around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. So, but yeah, it's fun because for in that particular ghost town, some ghost towns are different. A lot of ghost towns you can drive through, but that one you can drive pretty deep into nothingness. You know, by the time I got done driving and had to get out and walk the rest of the way, it was still pretty secluded looking. You know, and pretty similar to what you've seen in the past. If you've seen any of the other Monument City ghost town episodes, then at least the beginning's fairly similar. But then we find a few things that are a little bit different than on the previous episodes. Although the one where the reservoir was completely drained was really amazing, and I really recommend that if you haven't seen that episode, where I walked out into what now would be completely underwater and found all of the buildings that were flooded under probably I think it's like in the 10-foot range. I don't know, it may be a little bit less, but a pretty decent amount underwater all these buildings are. And yeah, it's kind of interesting that they weren't bulldozed, they weren't moved, nothing happened. They just flooded the river and let the houses sink underneath the surface. And so there's evidence of them still there to this day. And again, one of the coolest episodes that we have on the channel, and definitely highly recommend checking that out before this new one comes out on Saturday. And then I'll give you a little bit more context into the history of this place. And there's a few different, actually there's this will be the 4th visit, but it'll be the 5th episode that we've done about this location, because there was also they also had to move the graveyard for the reservoir, and so there's now the new area in an older graveyard. There's a section where they relocated the stones to to that graveyard, and you can drive to it. And it's actually on one of the roads that you use to connect to downtown Monument City. So that's really interesting too, because it really gives a personal history, looking at some of the memorials from the actual people that used to live in the buildings that are now flooded and underwater. So, and again, the graves themselves are flooded and underwater. These are only the memorials that are now sitting in another graveyard that were not the original graveyard where they were placed. So, thank you, Diane. Appreciate that. So yeah, one of my bigger series, one of my bigger ongoing series. I really need to go back and add everything to a playlist, but I've been having some, well, not issues. YouTube's just kind of changed the way it's done recently, and it's been a little bit more annoying to add everything. So I have it all added to the Abandoned Places playlist, but I don't have it added to its own playlist yet. So I'll do that here at some point in the future, because I know I have a lot of 2 and 3 part series out there, and I feel like it would be kind of nice to have it all organized where, people could go to the main page of my YouTube channel and check out the different multi-part series instead of necessarily having to go in and find them, because sometimes they're always in order, but sometimes they are spread apart. Sometimes there's a few episodes in between, and it's not always labeled as part 1, part 2, and part 3 or whatever. So I think it gets a little bit confusing sometimes, and people don't realize. And I've gotten a few questions here and there where people are like, when's part 2 coming out, or when's part 3 coming out? And it's like they've already been out for like 6 months to a year, but yet people don't know about it because, it's not really showing up that way in the title or in the video order. So it's unfortunate. It's something I need to correct here, but maybe one of those things I can get to at some point here in the future, in the near future, I mean. But so yeah, again, if you haven't seen the Monument City series, a lot of them are under that name. So if you do search for it, just 539 and Monument City, and some of the videos at the very least should come up, and you'll get a good idea of what we're gonna find. Not necessarily. There's a few surprises there, but found some really cool stuff in the woods, and then some stuff along the shoreline. That was definitely part of the old town, so it was pretty cool, for sure. And a few strange noises. Pretty sure I was alone, but there definitely was a lot of weird nature noises while I was out there too. So maybe y'all can chime in and let me know exactly what you think you heard, because sometimes I really don't know. I'm not really good at identifying the different nature sounds, and I'm always looking for all of your opinions anyway on the different episodes. So, but yeah. Now again, if you haven't seen the recent episode over on 539 that came out yesterday, make sure you check that out. That was a little bit short of an episode. The next episode is going to be really long. So far in the editor, it's about half an hour long, and I don't look for it to be much shorter by the time I get to the end of it. I'd say it's going to be at least 28 minutes long, so it's a really long one. So if you guys are liking the long episodes, you're definitely going to like Tuesday's episode, because it's going to be super long. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I did a video along with the Through Night company back in the day, where I tried out a couple of their flashlights. I guess one. But yeah, it was a pretty cool flashlight. Definitely pretty well made. It's still working to this day, so can't complain, and it's waterproof. But yeah, again, that's gonna be a long one, and then I believe the Ghost Town will be a pretty long one too. I walked around there for quite a while, searching for things, and found um, some crazy stuff. Honestly, some of it some of it's kind of weird, and then some of it's just pretty cool. No, you're absolutely right, Diane. Yeah, I definitely tried some flashlights. I believe that episode came out right before the California episodes. It was the last thing I did because I remember going out less than a week before. I was still getting everything packed and ready to go, and I remember running out really quickly and filming the episode and coming back and editing it and then leaving like the next day. So yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, I did do an episode with Through Night, which is the flashlight brand. So, yeah. Yeah, I still use it every once in a while. I have a few different flashlights that I use for various filming purposes on the channel, whether it's illuminating the dark mausoleum sometimes, or whenever I'm underground or whatever. Always need those good flashlights. Always need to have a good backup. So it's nice to know that I have like two backup flashlights, and then my phone light, and I also carry glow sticks with me. So even in an emergency where all the power's gone and I have no way of charging any devices or anything at all, I can still have a source of light for hours and hours. That could be the difference between getting rescued and not getting rescued. So yeah, I always try to be prepared, and I definitely am really well prepared when it comes to the emergency equipment. So now I just need to get a lot more cameras. Need to upgrade my cameras again, get a drone. Probably get a DSLR here pretty soon. Probably upgrade the computer setup here pretty soon too. Yeah, absolutely, Savannah. Yeah, it absolutely helps if you give a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the video or the live stream, make sure you give it the thumbs up. It lets the algorithm know that you're not only enjoying the episode, but that you're willing to interact with it, and that's what they really want, is that interaction. So anytime they see the thumbs up or anytime they see the comments, they definitely make note of that, and then use that as a measure for how much they promote the video to another audience, so to people that aren't subscribed. So when you go to the end of your video that you're watching and you see those I think it's 9 or 12 suggestions that pop up on your screen, that's YouTube recommending certain videos to you that they think that you might like. And that's how they do it, is based upon it's basically just a mixture of views versus watch time versus comments and versus likes. So those are your main factors. And then after that, well, not your main factors, but then is also your thumbnail and title. So those are pretty much the algorithm factors, among other things. So yeah. But in terms of watching, yeah, the best thing you can do is give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. And like I said, the only other thing that YouTube looks at would be the amount of time that you watch. So that's the gist of it. But yeah, they absolutely do look at it. There was some rumors that it had nothing to do with anything that was sort of just ignored, but I think that's been debunked, if I'm correct. But there is some level of secrecy. No one knows the exact formula or how it works, besides the people at YouTube. But the idea that it would be completely useless seems unlikely. and there's a lot of evidence that it's not. Thank you, Linda. It does actually. That actually does help too, because, and not to coach anybody, because obviously I can't tell you guys how to respond, and that wouldn't be right anyway. But the sooner that you do give it a thumbs up, it does count more, to what I understand. So if you like it right away and you give it a thumbs up, then it knows that, okay, hey, this thing was enjoyable and it started out enjoyable right away, and they made sure to give it a thumbs up. Then it really does. That does help too. So, instead of waiting until the very, very end, at any point that you decide that you enjoy it, to give it a thumbs up then is a little bit more helpful than waiting to the very end. So, yeah, that is, as far as I know, that's one of the statistics that they measure. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's good in a lot of ways, because it lets people know what their audience likes, and it lets YouTube know what people like, and enables YouTube to recommend things that, more accurately, that you might like watching. But then at the same time, it kind of sucks, because then stuff that people might like that YouTube just doesn't know, because maybe they haven't watched it yet, often gets looked over. And so sometimes, like with channels like mine, where I'm a little bit more niche, a little bit more focused of a channel, and a lot of people maybe haven't tried it out before, they might not get recommended my videos, which is often why my growth is a little bit smaller than some of the other channels, just because even in the urbex community and in the travel community, their content is so broad, and mine is pretty narrow. And so unfortunately, the algorithm sort of funnels people into videos that they've watched before, instead of sum it up in a more short manner. All right. Is it buffering? Let me look at my settings here. I cannot tell myself, unfortunately. Hold on. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can fix it at this point. Let me check and see if it's buffering from my end here. Well, I apologize if anybody's having any issues. It seems to be working from my end, although it'd probably be a little bit easier to work from my end. I really don't know. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream anyway right now. But yeah, my apologies if anybody's having any issues. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it might have just been a temporary thing. So, yeah. Yeah, as it's starting to get later, the stream's starting to drop off a little bit. It was doing pretty good there for a little while, though. And again, looks like things are slowly starting to recover here. So it might have just been a temporary thing, and maybe the sudden jump in numbers on YouTube just really threw the algorithm off, and it didn't really know how to distribute all the viewers or how to manage the people it promoted. I don't really know. So thankfully, it seems to be improving a little bit every day. So we'll just keep trying to do it more and more, and hopefully the algorithm catches on that people are watching and having fun and interacting and commenting. Excuse me. But yeah, as always, like I said, if you enjoy the stream, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And again, if you have that ability to hit that share button there below the video and share it on Twitter or share it on Facebook or whatever it may be to let some other people out there know that we're online and maybe they want to come over and hang out and check out the Mystery Channel and the 539 channel for the first time. That's a really great way for us to grow here as well and to get around that whole algorithm thing. As I've said so many times, word of mouth is the best advertising. And so, if somebody goes and they get their car fixed and then somebody else's car breaks and they ask them where they went, and if they had a really good experience, they're going to really make sure to recommend that place that they went. And so if you guys have a good experience here and you recommend that to a friend, they're far more likely to check it out than just seeing an ad somewhere or seeing a recommendation from YouTube. They may not trust that YouTube algorithm, but they for sure trust you and your judgment. So if you again, share it online, like I said, on Twitter or something like that. That's really the best way that we can attract new people over here. And as much as it may seem sort of elusive, it may seem like people aren't really clicking on it, I really can tell that they are. And I really can tell when people share stuff and see that boost in different analytics and whatnot. So many thanks to everybody out there who has done that and who whatever you do, whether you're watching, whether you're commenting, or you're giving it a thumbs up, whether you're sharing, whatever it is, just many thanks in general for tuning in and interacting and hanging out with us tonight. So I appreciate it. But let me see how much time we've got. All right. We've been going for 1 hour and 54 minutes. I say I'll give it another 6 minutes or something to pick up and see if they're gonna have a good late night audience tonight, or if not, then again I'll just finish the editing on Tuesday's episode. We'll figure out a live stream for tomorrow, because I definitely want to come on tomorrow again. And again, if at all I can figure out something to sort of be a little bit more entertaining instead of just being a talking head here on the screen, I will try and do that too. If I can maybe get the guitar done, I might do a little bit of music, more not any full songs or anything like that, but maybe just play around with it or something. Maybe do a few examples of some stuff that I'm working on or something like that. But it's kind of up in the air at this point. I don't really know how well I'm going to be able to accomplish that whole goal. I do have all the parts that I need, and I know what I need to do, as I've done it before technically. And if you want to check that out again, scroll back in the videos on this channel here, and you'll eventually get to the point where I'm playing the electric guitar as well as the acoustic too. But I don't know if I'm going to pull out the acoustic. I might, but I'm kind of more excited about getting the electric up and running so I can do some recording with it here in the future. So I'm going to be using probably a variety of different instruments. Like I said, it's going to be sort of a fusion album, the first album that I release on whatever platform I end up releasing it on. But I've got a variety of electric and acoustic instruments and microphones that I'll be using to put that all together, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, you never can tell sometimes. Yeah. Like I said, things were different a few years ago in terms of the way that videos got views and what got views and how long they got views, things like that. So, yeah, it's hard to say. What happens when you click 30 times on YouTube? I don't even know. You can't click the thumbs up more than once, I know. It's one thumbs up per person, maximum. You can share multiple times on multiple different accounts. But I don't know in terms of what would happen if he did it 30 times. But you never know. It's possible it might help. Just not if you hit the thumbs up. If you do that, YouTube might think that you're spam, and they might limit your account. So yeah, definitely don't do that. But they don't mind if you share multiple times. I think they're all cool with that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not answering your question. Let me know. Well, unfortunately, like I said, YouTube just doesn't support multiple thumbs up. So, yeah, it's not really a option, unfortunately. It'd be nice. I know some sites do support it. There are certain formats on I think on Instagram, like if you watch a live stream, you can hit the thumbs up multiple times. Like you could technically give it like 400 thumbs up if you wanted. And there's a few other streaming sites out there that do allow that sort of interaction, but unfortunately on YouTube they do not allow that. It'd be kind of nice though, because that would help for somebody to say on a live stream that they enjoyed watching it, but then later on be able to say that they're still enjoying watching it. I think actually would serve a big purpose. So that's a really, really good idea. But unfortunately, as far as I know, I've never seen YouTube support any type of multiple thumbs up or hearts or anything like that. So, yeah. Maybe one of these days, though. But like I said, if you love a video, make sure you just share it on social media. Like I said, it depends on what you're doing, though. If you share it on Twitter, it gives a link back to the video, so it would actually route people to the correct site. But certain things I do have, like I do have Facebook, I do have Twitter, I do have Instagram, I have all those sites. But really, when I say share, what I mean is when you hit that share button below the video, it provides a link back to YouTube so that people can check it out. So that's what I mean. If that's, again, hopefully that answers the question. No worries, I understand. Some people like it, and some people don't really care for the whole social media thing. If social media is not your thing, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, just sort of a mild recommendation for anybody out there who does use social media. If you do use social media and you also enjoy the content, then if you so choose, it'd be awesome if you shared the video on your other social media accounts. However, again, if not, I appreciate everybody just being here, just tuning in, chatting, having fun. No obligation on anything whatsoever, but, I will put it out there that it's available, just like with other stuff like the merch and the Patreon. It's one of those things that's, you never feel obligated to go out and buy, any prints or merch or anything like that, or become a Patreon. But, if it's something that sounds interesting to you, make sure to check it out for sure. Good night, Juanita. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate seeing you again. So yeah, that's the gist of that. Well, we just passed the 2-hour mark. Not too shabby. Oh. All right. It's about 11:30. We just crossed 2 hours. Again, I think we did a little bit better tonight than we did the last night, and I think we did slightly better last time than we did the time before that. And whatever is happening with these weird stream issues where we're getting like a third of the audience for whatever reason, I don't really know, but it does seem to be slightly getting better every time, and then for whatever reason crashing towards the end, which is kind of normal anyway. It seems like towards the end of our streams there's always a fair amount of people who have gone off to bed or done something like that. So maybe that part's probably just a sign that I need to do maybe streams a little bit earlier in the daytime, maybe. So we'll see what happens there. But I think it was a good sign that things were improving and starting to get a little bit back to normal. So who knows? I know there's a lot of weird stuff going on with YouTube right now. I know sometimes they have been limiting the quality of certain videos and certain live streams just because there's so many people on, and it's causing so much additional power usage on their end with the servers. And so, it's just probably something that they weren't really prepared for, to have a sudden surge in internet traffic like that. So many people that are at home bored looking to take up their time. And so, yeah, it is what it is. But all right, at any rate, thank you all for joining me here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night there. Hey, thanks for joining us, Diane. You have a great night. And yeah, again, we'll be trying to do another live stream here tomorrow night. Oops, hold on just a second here. And I will, again, try and update everybody sometime throughout the day tomorrow so that everybody knows ahead of time what's going on and what time I should be hopefully getting onto the live stream. And if possible, since I got this kind of set up again here with the camera and all that, I might try and do like a more scheduled stream, so at least there should be, if your notifications work for whatever reason, then you'll get a notification about an hour or so ahead of time. So that's the plan at any rate. Just again, like I said, if you have other social media, check out the Instagram. I keep everybody updated there. And then if you're not on the Instagram account, then I do also let a lot of things trickle down to the Twitter and Facebook accounts, and all those are either at 539 Productions or Matt Isaac, and the links can be found in any 539 Productions video out there. So, all right. Anyway, excuse me. Apparently not able to talk, but at any rate, yeah, thank you all for joining me here tonight. I appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out, and looking forward to seeing you all in our next live stream. Thanks, everybody. Night.